right, here you go. Here are some shanked bit exercises to help your horse understand how to neck rein a little bit better. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is I have my reins. We call it the little rainbow or the little arch. So they're a split rein and they'll move in between my thumbs like this. Now I am using a longer dressage whip. Why am I doing this? I'm not using spurs, but I do need to tap additionally if I need to add a little kind of, all right, you're not listening. Let's make sure you listen. So that's why I have that. Now, number one, we need to make sure the horse can direct rein. So you always start out with making sure thumb and forefinger, you ask, then suggest and demand. We want to make sure he gives his head. So that is intermittent pressure, real quick on either side. So reach forward, ask the horse to give on both sides. So intermittent pressure and direct pressure. So I'm using direct pressure right here and intermittent with a little bop, 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 bop. Remember, thumb and forefinger multiply times 15 pounds with a 3-inch shank. The next exercise I'm going to ask is for the back. Now the back is going to be off my seat, not just off my hands. So I'll have my reins. I'm going to make it into my nice little rainbow there. I'm going to ask him to give his head, and I'm going to squeeze and release with my seat. I'm totally over exaggerating that. And I'm going to kind of pull low until he gives his head and takes that step back. So as soon as he does that, I'm going to release. Good boy. And use, there we go. Let's get another step and release. But I want his nose in, step and release, and back, step and release. So, important part. Everybody has their different back cues, but your cue is going to use your seat. You're not going to put your leg on the horse. You're not going to touch your horse. You're just going to actually kind of squeeze and release right up here. So you're going to make that squeeze and release, and then you're just going to add a little even pressure right here until your horse gives to that back. Okay. Now we're going to start actually adding that neck rein, and we want the horse to move away from the neck. Now I'm also adding button number 2, and he's moving quite nicely. Now I have my dressage whip if I needed to add to a tap, but I'm going to walk out. Now, here's the important part. My indirect rein is my inside rein, so I don't really want to use it unless I have to. So I'm going to start by kind of spiraling down to a circle. So I use that outside leg, and I'm going to squeeze and release, and now I'm going to add that indirect rein. Now if he taps his head out like that, I'm going to reach down and get that inside rein until I get a nice, there we go, there we go, there we go, and ooh, that was much better. So right now he's already starting to listen. He's opening the door the direction I want to go with my inside leg, closing the door with my outside leg. I just add simple little bit of indirect pressure. Remember, I'm just going to push on button number 2 just a little bit. Push and release. Push and release. And that's what's going to start us kind of making a circle. I want that forehand to kind of move. I want to keep my body straight up, but I'm not going to use that inside hand unless he pops his head out. If he pops his head out, I'm just going to add a little pressure, make sure he comes in, and then go nice and just release when I'm done. Walk forward, walk forward. Remember, whoa, stop with the seat and not the reins. I'm going to add the back with my seat first. Ready, and back, back. Always make sure we add a back. Oh, that wasn't very pretty. Come on. I need you not to fight. So we already forgot that exercise. There we go. Back, back. You got to keep going till he actually backs up really nicely. Back, back, back. And that was much better. So you always end the exercise on a good note. All right, I hope that gave you some basic ideas. You're going to start just laying on that neck rope, the neck rein, the indirect rein, and start using that until your horse responds. And remember, if they don't respond quickly, you can add that inside rein. But that's kind of step 1, and that's just one little exercise. We're going to be refining those in later episodes. Okay, I want you to realize that a shanked bit has a lot of pressure, and this is a bit that really shouldn't be used on a horse that is under the age of 5, and they should already be progressing nicely with a snaffle bit first, and this is in addition to that. Now, the reason why we're going with 5 and 6-year-olds here is you should already have them handling everything and understanding their buttons very well. And when you move to a shank bit, you're moving to indirect reining or a single-handed. So this is for showing. APHA and AQHA require you to use a shanked bit, and you really can't use a bossel, so that's why we're doing this. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video, and if you enjoyed the video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. And remember, to see more, check out our playlists.